Welcome to Rolf Hitzer Behind the For Sale sign. We have a few firsts today, and it starts with, as you can plainly see, absolutely no for sale sign. My guest was demanding that not be in the video today, and so out of respect to my guest, I had to comply with his wishes. Just like a rock star, you know, they want all just the red Smarties, that kind of thing was going on behind the scenes. So. The other thing is it's indoors and it's pouring rain outside today. And we had to cancel our first one because of the weather. And so we just made that executive decision to do this today, independent of what was going on. And it didn't allow us to go outside. So here we are indoors without a for sale sign. Thank you for tuning in. I'd like to welcome my guest, Paul Scinocca from Royal LePage, top producers.
Thank you, Rolf. Pleasure to be here.
And it's a bigger pleasure for me because I just love having you on this show for the first time.
I'm a huge fan of the show, I might add.
Oh, wow.
And I wasn't completely opposed to the sign, but I did wear a coat just to give it that outdoor element. And what do you got? What do you got for me?
Oh, I got questions, and I'm trying to hide them so that
I'm
you
not
can't
looking.
see them.
I'm not looking.
Good, because one of the things that in this entire show is all from the hip. There's no scripts. There's no cards. What do they call those cards that you get to read, like on SNL that they have? Cue cards. There's no cue cards.
Cue card.
Yeah. So anything that happens, it's in the moment, and so I'm trying to hide the questions from Paul so he can't see them, so that they're a little bit of a surprise.
Nothing too hard, though, today.
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't think they're hard, but
I'm
what
ready.
if you do?
Whatever.
Okay.
I'm not
sure?
nervous.
You look a little mad.
No, that's just because I was in Nashville for the last couple of days.
How was Nashville?
Fantastic.
If you had to pick one thing out of your trip to Nashville that is going to be like that 20 years from now, you're going to look back and go, Nashville, this is, what's that moment?
You know what? It was... I've never seen so many different live bands in a small section of a city. I mean, there's probably at least 50 bands playing at the same time in a 3-block radius. It was crazy. Never seen anything like it.
Yeah, and for those of you that don't know Paul, he's actually a world-renowned drummer.
I wouldn't go that far, but...
Well... I'll start with this then.
Oh,
2 Juno Awards. Now, if that isn't worldwide, then help me understand why it isn't.
Okay.
2 Junos. That's amazing, actually. What an accomplishment.
Thank you.
Yeah. Tell me about that.
Well, I owned a recording studio in my previous life, and we had lots, we recorded lots of artists. We did lots of audio for film. There was one artist in particular that he came to us. He was world famous.
Can I ask who it is?
Derek Miller.
Okay.
So he had played with such artists such as Willie Nelson, George Thorogood, a few other artists like that. Anyways, he came to us to finish his record. And I ended up playing drums on that record, and it won a Juno. 2 years later, he did his second record with us, and that one I engineered, and that one also won a Juno. So we'd got lucky on that.
Yeah.
But it was good.
Well, I define luck as hard work.
Absolutely. There's tons of hard work.
Yeah, yeah.
Lucky because there's so many other great artists.
Yeah.
That were also, nominated.
Yeah.
So for us to win that, it was very gratifying.
Is it like a heavy award?
Yeah.
It is, eh?
Oh yeah. It's pure glass with a metal bottom. It weighs about 8 or 10 pounds.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
So I got a question then. Like, you went to the Junos.
Yes.
And you're at the Junos, and you must be like rubbing shoulders with some pretty, high-profile musicians.
Sure.
Yeah. Or weren't you?
Oh, yeah. No,
yeah.
There's, I think at that time, one of the Juno Awards I was at, Avril Lavigne was there.
Yeah. Does she look as good in life, like real, versus...
She's the real deal.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
she's kind of hot.
Well, yeah, she's the real deal.
Okay.
That's all I can say about her.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's going back. Shania, never got to meet her, but she performed. That's the Juno Awards where she did different clothing change for every
Yeah,
hockey
yeah.
city,
Okay.
Canadian hockey team.
Yeah.
So
I've always had the hots for Shania. Like, she's amazingly beautiful. You didn't see her live though, eh? Like real close, like
she
close.
performed, not super close, no.
No. Okay. It's interesting. I do have a awards story, if you don't mind, because I'm interviewing
I'd
you.
love to hear it.
But Crash Test Dummies, Jim Cairns, also a accomplished drummer, and they were being nominated at the Grammy Awards. So I went at the time, bought 4 CDs, handed them to Jim, who in turn handed them to Mitch Dorge. And all the CDs were signed by every band member in LA at the Grammy. So it's kind of like, woo,
Wow.
I felt special. But so you, in your previous life, you had a recording studio, wound that down, and decided to, well, first of all, what year did you get into real estate?
I was licensed in 2010.
Yeah.
So I kind of jumped into it in 2009. As I was transitioning out of the audio industry into the real estate industry. I took almost a full 12 months to do my courses, and yeah.
So you're coming into 15 years.
Yes. Yeah.
Over the 15 years, Paul, like, is there something that, I'm watching this, I'm not licensed at all, but I've been thinking about getting into real estate, and here you are 15 years into it. What would you say to someone that's watching this episode going, is real estate for me? What advice would you give that person?
Wow. Well, you know what? You have to have passion for meeting people. I think that's number one is,
Yeah.
meeting people, making good relationships, and helping people. I mean, helping people buy and sell probably their biggest asset. I know this is probably a cliche in the industry, but you're helping somebody buy or sell their biggest asset, probably that they'll ever own.
Correct. That's very true.
So it's rewarding, and I'm not just talking financially, but it's emotionally rewarding to help somebody go through a process like that.
Yeah, it is. I know in my previous life, I thought it was rewarding. And then I got into real estate and the hugs and the relationships that are established.
You are a hugger, I might add.
Oh, I am. Yeah. And during COVID, it's like, well, my mom.
Oh.
That's where it came from.
Okay.
Yeah, my mom was a hugger, and you could not walk past her without a hug. And so.
Special.
That's the roots, yeah. And I don't mind being a hugger.
You're good at it.
Oh, yeah, especially with men.
Oh, yeah.
So why real estate? So here you go through this career change from the music industry and said, you know what, real estate's for me. How did that play out for you?
Being an owner of a real estate, of a music production studio.
By the way, we don't edit, so if you
I know.
If you mess up,
I'll try not to swear.
I fucking hope not. Oh,
careful! It's a family show,
It is.
Anyways, entrepreneurship has always been something that I've wanted to do or be part of.
Yeah.
So owning my own studio was fantastic. Starting a family that kind of was one of the catalysts for me, jumping into a different industry. But I knew real estate had always, piqued my interest, and something I felt I could still, be my own boss, basically, in the industry. So it intrigued me, and here I am 15 years later.
Wow. That in itself, by the way, is, as you know, being in real estate, is quite the accomplishment. It's not an easy road to get to 15 years,
No. Yeah.
So congratulations on that.
Thank you.
That's not easy. So if you wanted to romance your wife, what are the 3 restaurants you would turn to say, this is a special night and this is where we're going? What are those 3? Because it could be any one of those 3, depending on how you feel that day.
Right. Yeah.
What are your top 3 go-tos?
Well, it can't be sushi for me because I know that's for you.
But I have to interrupt you. Did you go? Did you
No, not yet.
No, okay. You won't be disappointed. But go carry on. Yeah.
So you know what? I would say a nice Italian restaurant
Yeah.
would be good. I don't know if I should name any particular
I
places.
think you're okay too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I mean the Coliseo. I've always been a fan of that.
Where?
On Corden.
And what are they called?
Coliseo.
Oh, right. Yeah, I've been there.
Coliseo. However you
Yeah, I
want
used
to
to go
pronounce
there in
it.
my youth. After
Very
the bar.
good place.
Yeah.
A good steakhouse. 529 is always nice.
Is that the best?
I don't know.
Okay.
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Wife's such a good cook that we just, we have most of our meals at home.
But you got to take her somewhere sometimes.
Yeah.
Where's the 3rd one?
Oh, so third one,
Yeah.
maybe somewhere in Vegas.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thinking a steakhouse in,
Oh, there's so many good ones
you
there.
know what, there is, in Old Vegas.
I've never eaten in Old Vegas.
It's, amazing. Can't remember the name of it, but I know exactly where it is in my mind.
Okay.
I could find it. If we had to, I could find it.
Okay. It's okay to name drop, by the way, because Ed Lamb from Yajiro, I think number 79 in Canada, most desired restaurants. Trying to get Paul to take his wife to your restaurant. Just saying. Back to you.
Yeah. Oh, there is one other one
Yeah.
I should plug here, and it's not because you're related, but
Okay.
Deer and Almond.
Oh, wow.
Special restaurant.
Well, yeah, and I mean, last week you had said, hey, if I can get tickets to Raw, as a testament, and our videographer has been going how many years? Dylan, have you gone? Is your 4th year, 3rd or 4th? Yeah. Yeah. How many? Yeah, like to Raw.
3.
3? Okay. Yeah. And he's fussy.
Nice.
Yeah. If it ain't a potato and a piece of meat. No offense.
What else you got? We got to keep this going here.
Yeah, we do. So I don't know how many years it was when you came to me and said, Rolf, I would like to go down that road of being a broker and managing an office, and is there any opportunity? And it was an instant yes for me. And so,
Thank you, by the way.
and hindsight, what a great decision we both made. But if you were to take, how many years now have you been being a managing, not only broker, but partner in the business?
Well, I'd say 3
3?
very active
Yeah.
years, and then before that, maybe let's get my feet wet
Yeah.
for a couple of years before that.
So it's 5 already, eh?
So about 5 years.
Wow, that went by quick.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah. So based on your 5 years of doing what you do, what do you feel your biggest challenge as a real estate broker? What is it that you find exceptionally challenging to do with what you're doing?
Making sure my agents are taken care of.
Not easy, right?
Not easy.
Yeah. Yeah. And how do you do that?
Giving the right advice.
Yeah.
Being accessible.
Yeah.
And available to answer calls.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm passionate about it. So I do like to help people. I want to make sure, I genuinely like to see people succeed.
Mm-hmm.
Especially people that are under my watch, we'll say.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. I know one of the things that I've noticed, just in, I'm going to say passing hallways or whatever, but where some of the things that you do to help, especially the newer agents and even experienced, it doesn't matter because you make yourself available, but you go to a level that I never did as a broker. And it's, I always, when those moments happen on a personal level, I just kind of go, wow, like that's
Wow.
That's next
Wow.
level caring, and I thought I cared, so
I don't really know any other way
yeah.
to begin with. So, and I'm pretty sure I learned from the best.
Oh, you must have.
Yeah.
A little bit of crystal ball gazing. How do you see 2025, like the real estate market, specifically for Winnipeg and Manitoba? Like how do you see next year in the market?
I see action.
Yeah.
I think it'll be active.
Okay.
I think there's still a lot of people getting into the industry.
Yeah.
I know that from seeing all the people that are writing exams in these courses. So I think there's still action for people wanting to be in the industry.
Yeah.
And also, people wanting to buy and sell. I mean, it's not slowing down.
No. And what do you think is fueling all of, like, let's now talk about the actual real estate market, buyers, sellers, investors in our marketplace. And I agree with you. I think it is going to be very active next year. But what fuels that? What's causing the market that we currently are having? And I'm just going to give a bit of an outtake because I just came back from Edmonton, Alberta, where Prairie Province brokers, and it was amazing how some markets were just absolutely dead, or a balanced market, or a buyer's market. And here we are. It's we're coming into the final weeks of this year, and multiple offers is normal. So what's causing what we're going through? Why Winnipeg, and why is it the way it is right now for buyers and sellers?
Affordability.
Okay.
Major. I consider Winnipeg to be a major market.
Yeah, agreed.
Still affordable comparatively
Yeah.
to other major markets. Interest rates help. I mean, you can use that plus or minus interest rates.
Yeah.
I don't think that's the be all end all, catalyst for housing boom.
Yeah.
But I always there's an influx of people into Winnipeg too. So
Yeah, I heard in the news in 2023 we grew as a province 20,000 people
There
in
you
one
go.
year. Yeah, and that's not Winnipeg normal, as you know.
Yeah.
So
well, you look at the vacancy for rentals,
yeah,
and it's low. It's really low.
yeah.
1.8%, I want to say. I didn't want to throw any stats at you today.
No, I'm not looking for stats
Okay. Well,
because I don't want to embarrass you in front of
I know, right?
the massive audience that I garner.
Right.
Yeah. So 2024 is my first year in real estate, for conversation's sake. And if I came to you, Paul, and said, I really am disappointed with my first year in real estate, and I really want to be successful, and how do I get to, in 2025, what do I have to do to at least sell a house a month? What Paul, help me out. What do I got to do?
Let's look at your business.
Okay.
Let's look at what you're doing right now.
Okay. I
So
don't
what are you
think I'm
doing?
doing very much, to be honest. I thought people would just call me, but they're not.
You don't have any friends?
I do.
Oh,
At least two.
so you got 2 sales perhaps.
Yeah. But so I guess waiting for the phone to ring is not good.
Not really the greatest business strategy, we'll say.
Okay.
There's systems are great.
Mm-hmm.
They're proven.
Yeah.
And by systems, I mean, you have a plan. So have a plan. What are you going to do this week? What are you going to do today? What are you going to do tomorrow to enhance your business, to brand yourself, to make people aware that, hey, you are in the business of selling real estate and you can help somebody.
Mm-hmm. So 13 years ago, I don't know if you can remember at your comfortable age that you're at. 13 years ago would have been your second year.
Yeah.
And if you could look back to that year, because the first year, let's make no mistake there, it is hard. This
Absolutely.
is an unforgiving business. Not to discourage anybody, but it is hard. You have to outwork the top agent in your brokerage. But what did you do in year 2 that took you to that level you wanted to be at? Is there anything that stands out in your mind that you did?
I don't think I can pinpoint one exact thing.
Yeah.
I think it was a culmination of a few things that I did, and one was just, have a strategy to stay in touch with people.
Yeah.
On a more consistent basis. So yes, getting into real estate, you don't know where that next job is going to come from, or where your next client's coming from.
Correct. Yeah. Hence the expression "feast or famine" in our line of work,
Sure.
right?
Yeah. But I mean, you can do certain things on a regular basis you can't guarantee, nothing's guaranteed, but you can give yourself a way better chance to develop relationships and build your business.
Yeah. 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 True that, right? I mean, you've proven it.
Yeah.
You're on death row. And the warden comes to you and says, "Mr. Scinocca, you have 3 movies as part of your death row package to watch." What 3 movies would you say, these are the ones, that's all I got left to watch in my lifetime? These are the top 3 of my movie selections. And they are?
Can I pick a trilogy for a movie choice?
I certainly would if I'm on death row.
Give me a little more time?
Exactly.
Well, my first and favorite movie, and don't laugh, but it's The Warriors. It's my favorite movie of all time. You're laughing.
I am, because I saw that one in the movie theater.
So did I when it came out. And I don't know. There's something about that cult classic that just...
I can't believe that's in your top 3, I'll say.
Oh, it's my top one.
Top one.
Yeah. So, Back to the Future trilogy.
Yeah, classic.
And how do you get better than that?
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah.
And number 3 movie. Here's another one you're gonna like. Kelly's Heroes.
Wow.
One of my favorite all-time movies. Donald Sutherland, Clint Eastwood. I'm a huge Clint Eastwood fan.
Yeah. Well, given your background, I'm kind of a little taken aback that you.
I know I didn't pick The Godfather.
The Godfather.
It'd be in the top 5.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
So sorry.
You asked for 3.
I did. Yes, and you gave them to me. So I apologize. This is like a CIA operation here, and I don't want Paul to see my questions. So I'm kind of
not looking.
Open, close, open, close. You play in a cover band.
I do.
Yeah, and I've had the benefit of seeing the 2 different bands that you played in, and I'm going to give you a bit of an outtake.
Okay.
So the first time that we saw you, you were like this alter ego, and I remember not just me, but those of us that knew you were just kind of, who's that guy? Mm-hmm. Because you played it so well. And then just recently, your band graciously performed. We did a fundraiser for the Shelter Foundation here in Winnipeg for Willow Place. Very successful evening. We had 3 bands, and your band was one of them, but you also coordinated the other 2 bands. So first of all, thank you. And I mean, the women and children of our city and province that are victims of domestic violence, you made a big impact and a big difference, along with the other bands and the volunteers that night.
Well,
so
don't thank me. That's a collective effort, and I was glad to be part of something like that.
So what kind of bands are you in?
Well, I'm in a KISS tribute band, and full out, fire-breathing, makeup, hair, everything.
Yeah.
And it's pretty authentic. I'd say this KISS band
they're good.
Is top notch. Yeah. As far as a tribute bands go, I don't know if you can find a much better band. So I'm lucky enough to be part of something like that.
Yeah.
These guys are very accomplished players, and that was a blast. It continues to be a blast to put on the makeup.
Yeah, and that's where. That was the first show, I think, for the people you work with, that a lot of people saw you and went, really?
Who the hell is that?
Yeah. Why can't that guy be brokering our office?
Believe it or not.
Yeah. And then your other one, which you just did a few weeks ago, was CCR cover band.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and that was pretty awesome too.
Yeah, we're having fun with that one too.
Yeah.
I would say almost completely different genres of or styles of music, but
Absolutely, yeah.
fun as heck. I'll
Yeah.
tell you.
Yeah.
I'd say for me, there's probably, like, I came up in the music industry.
Yeah.
Even before I owned a recording studio, I was a drummer.
Yeah.
And so when I hit the stage, I'm performing.
Yeah.
And that's, and then when I'm off stage, I'm not performing.
How did you become a drummer? Like, where did that come from?
Musical family.
Yeah.
My mother's a master's in music. She taught music her whole career.
Oh, wow.
Still does, part-time. She's still doing it.
In Dauphin?
In Dauphin.
Okay.
Yeah, still teaching piano part-time.
Wow.
Anyways, so she got me into music theory, and then my grandfather bought me a drum set when I was 8 for my birthday, and the rest is history.
Really? So
Yeah.
you took to it right away?
Took to it. Yeah, loved it.
Now, did you take music lessons, or were you just like, okay, so you
No,
did?
I
eh?
did take lessons, yeah.
Okay. And for how long?
Many years.
Okay.
Right up until I was probably 17.
So when you take lessons like that, because I know nothing about music, I'm tone deaf, and I'm proud of it. But
I've heard you sing, you're okay.
do you get taught to drum like rock, or is it jazz? Like, is there a certain genre that you get taught on?
To start, I think it's, to keep interest.
Yeah.
I think a good teacher, and I had great teachers,
Yeah.
they do a combination of, let's teach you the fundamentals, so you got to get your rudiments down,
Yeah.
but let's also have some fun. So what's one of your favorite songs? What's your favorite band? And let's play it. Let's learn it and play it.
Who was that?
Well, at that time,
Yeah.
well, I had a poster of Gene, Paul, Peter, and Ace up on my wall the whole time.
so it was Kiss
right
right
from
from the
the
start.
get-go.
Okay, because I had
So-
heard Doris Day, so obviously it wasn't her.
A close second.
Okay.
But yeah, so Kiss was up on my wall, AC/DC,
Yeah.
Rolling
yeah,
Stones,
AC/DC, yeah.
all those bands, classic Led Zeppelin,
Yeah.
Cheap Trick. I grew up with that stuff.
Wow. So I have to ask you, and I know you told me this, but who are the top drummers in your opinion in the world today?
Oh, living or
Living.
deceased?
You know what? Let's do 2 to 3 living and 2 to 3 deceased.
Oh, geez, you're putting me on the spot now.
Doesn't have to be that many. I'm just saying
Okay. All right.
from your craft.
For my crowd. Oh, well, the number one drummer for me, and I don't know if this is arguable or not, but is Neil Peart from Rush.
Okay.
He was an inspiration too. I can't forget about Rush.
Yeah.
But amazing drummer, technically a genius. We'll call him a genius.
Yeah. I actually saw a solo he did on YouTube. It was like mind blowing.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, you can't discount Bonzo from Led Zeppelin,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
John Bonham. Yeah, he's an innovator, creator, technician. But so that would be my top 2 guys.
Okay.
And believe it or not, I'd throw Alex Van Halen in there.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh?
Guy's phenomenal. I mean, how many players can play Hot for Teacher?
Yeah.
How many people can do that?
I don't know.
I don't know of one person that's played it.
Really?
No offense, Scotty, if you're watching this. I don't know one drummer that
Scotty.
can play it. Perfect. Scott, you're probably the closest guy I've ever seen play it.
Wow.
But I've never seen a drummer being able to play that. Not too many bands can pull a song like that off. But
Yeah.
not just that one song. But there's a lot of, Alex Van Halen's amazing. Nico McBrain from Iron Maiden.
Really? Did not expect that either.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Creator, technician. And here's one. Phil Rudd from AC/DC.
Yeah. Isn't he like a murderer?
No, he's not a murderer.
Didn't he get convicted of murder?
He's accused of it.
Oh, accused.
Yeah.
So he didn't kill
I don't.
until proven innocent?
I'm a fan of him.
Yeah.
So I'm taking the approach that, hey, not guilty until proven. Innocent until proven guilty.
Yeah, yeah. And by the way, I love
I know.
his drumming. I just at his expense, kind of horsing around.
Yeah.
I know it's for him very sensitive, obviously. You know.
I'll throw one more name at you,
Yeah, please.
which has been one of the all-time greats. Charlie Watts, Rolling Stones.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Jazz drummer, actually.
Huh.
Crazy good jazz drummer.
Yeah.
And
That
but he's
explains
got a
his
unique
skill.
sound.
Yeah.
He was the glue for the Rolling Stones for all those years.
Yeah.
So
Huh. And you thought we were going to be talking real estate today, didn't you?
I don't know. I really like where this is going.
So I have to ask, because you know, outside looking in,
Yeah.
you know, you're in a band. Women are just throwing themselves at you, running to your hotel rooms.
It's a perception, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah, having lines of coke and, you know, copious amounts of alcohol. And as a drummer, that's like, yeah, that's the life I live as a drummer. That's what we do. You know, I'm joking,
I know you are.
but I have to ask this question because, you know, I know you've traveled, you've played for years. There's got to be a story there that you can share. That's always going to be with you. Like, you know, I was in Penticton, BC, and so what's your standout behind the scenes musician
Oh, boy.
story? And it could be anywhere. It could be
Clean
anything.
story.
Clean story.
This could be hard to...
Clean story. So I wasn't that far off, was I?
No. It's a different lifestyle, I'll tell you that.
You look so innocent.
Oh, am I turning red now? No, I don't know if I have a good story. Other than
You have
maybe I was invited to go to the Grammys one year.
Yeah.
I played on a record that got nominated
Okay.
for a Grammy. So they flew us down,
Cool.
walked the red carpet, not with the artists, but with the behind the scenes people, the production people.
Yeah.
And
And studio musicians, I'm assuming.
yeah, and I met all the boys from Spinal Tap. So, which again,
What was that like?
it was just phenomenal. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, you try to say something serious to those guys, and it's like just a joke after joke after joke.
Yeah.
So that was a super big highlight for me. Loved it.
Cool.
Yeah.
I hope your daughters aren't watching. But
Uh-oh.
have you ever woken up and going, where am I? This is not Thunder Bay where I started the evening.
No, I don't think I've ever been that
Okay.
in that state of mind. So,
I have a couple of friends that have lived that, and I was curious.
I'm not a singer. So
Okay. Where did you grow up?
I grew up in Dauphin, born and raised.
Born and raised?
Yeah,
In town or on a farm or?
in town.
Okay. And population of Dauphin?
I think it hovers between 8,000 to 10,000
Okay.
over the years.
Yeah.
Good town.
Yeah.
Love it. My parents are still there.
Yeah.
Sister's there. Her husband.
And you're Italian in a Ukrainian town, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I think I'm pretty sure we're the only Italian family
Really?
in that town when I grew up. Now there's maybe one or two others
Okay.
for whatever reason. But yeah, that's a heavy population of Ukrainian. Their food's amazing.
Yeah. Yeah.
in
Pierogies,
Dauphin.
come on.
Every time I go for a bonspiel,
Yeah. What do you go to? What do you have?
well, they serve you Ukrainian meal.
Yeah.
So pierogies, halapshi,
Yeah. Kubasa.
you name it. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
it's all there.
Wow.
And
Borscht?
homemade, and borscht soup, homemade. Can't beat it.
No. So growing up in Dauphin, do you ever have a moose walk through your house? Like, not your house,
No,
but
we're
your
not.
yard?
We're not like north of 60. It's
Oh.
like it's a town, like it's a city. No, there's no moose walking around
There isn't, eh?
downtown
Okay.
Dauphin. No.
So being the only Italian, I guess you were the Don. You were the mafia. You represented the Italian.
My dad was, we'll say,
Was
the
he?
Don. Yeah,
If I'm not mistaken, he owns and still does a bowling alley, right?
that's right.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a front, you know. It's a huge
Exactly. Yeah. It's the Italian way.
front. It is. It's the only way.
Oh. See, I went ahead. I've got some of these questions here, and this is hard to answer because I love live music, as you know. I try to take in as many concerts as possible. Top 3 concerts you've ever been to?
Well, that's easy.
Is it?
That's easy.
It'd be hard for me, but go ahead.
Number 1, Iron Maiden, Power Slave, 1984.
Wow. 1984.
Yeah. Yeah. I was 16.
Huh.
Now you know how old I am.
Yeah.
So anyways,
I have a feeling.
brilliant show. Twisted Sister opened up for them. And they were on their Stay Hungry tour.
Oh my God.
It was crazy.
Yeah.
That was the best show I've ever been at. AC/DC was a close second.
Okay.
And I'm saying the Who Made Who's tour
Yeah.
in the arena, 86. I have front row seats for that.
Oh my God.
And when they did, for those about to rock, We Salute You, they shoot the
cannons.
21 gun salute, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
That was the loudest thing I've ever encountered. And still to this day, I've never heard anything as loud as those cannons.
Wow.
Being in front row, it wasn't the smartest, but
Did Angus drip some of his sweat on you?
I probably felt some at the time, but yeah.
Okay. Probably. So even back then, you were like a rock kind of, hey, let's get messed up and go to the concert. Was that what was going on?
Dude.
You're such a respectful, the guy living next door. I just can't picture you getting rowdy.
No. It's all good. It's all in fun.
Yeah.
Number 3, I don't even know what number 3 is. You asked me for 3.
Yeah, you got to have one. There's got to be one in there. Clearly,
Okay,
heavy metal is kind of right up your...
Well, yeah, it's got to be an 80s rock band, and I'm going to have to say Motley Crue the first time I saw them, which was on their Theater of Pain tour, which is 1985.
All 80s.
Notice the 84, 85, 86.
Yeah.
Those are, they're very impressionable shows on somebody, in their teens
Yeah.
growing up.
Yeah.
I've seen some great shows, probably way better shows after that. But those are the most impressionable ones on a young, aspiring rock and roll star.
Yeah. They would be, yeah. Darlene, where'd you meet her?
Oh, set up, blind date.
Really?
Yeah.
And it worked out well, obviously.
It worked out.
Who set you up?
Pretty good. So I went to university,
Yeah.
and at the dorm,
U of M or W?
U of M.
U of M?
Yeah,
Okay.
and stayed at the dorm there, and it was half a Dauphin lived in that dorm.
Okay.
It was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Anyways, met a pile of lifelong friends there. So Brad Penner, can I drop names?
Yeah, you can. This is a family show.
Brad Penner. So we call him Fred Penner, because there was about 5 Brads on our floor, and we
Okay.
needed to,
Not the
distinguish
Fred Penner, though,
which
right?
ones were which. So
Yeah,
we
but
called
he wasn't the Fred Penner.
no.
right? Okay.
No, this
Okay.
is Brad Penner, my age.
Okay.
Anyways, so I knew him, and my wife went to school with his wife.
From Dauphin?
No,
No.
Brad's not from Dauphin. Sorry.
Okay.
Met him at the universities from Killarney or somewhere.
Okay.
I can't remember what town he's from. Smaller town.
Yeah.
And then Darlene grew up in Inwood on a farmstead,
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
and had a really good friend there. Her name was Penny, and so yeah, one thing led to another, and she set us up on a blind date. But it's funny how I knew him, and my wife knew her.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
It does. Yeah. That's kind of cool.
That was cool.
Yeah. Yeah. I think in Inwood they have moose walking through yards.
I'm pretty sure they do.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like real small town.
Oh yeah. Snakes in Garson.
right.
They're right by Garson.
Yeah. Actually, I've been meaning to go.
Or what is it?
Narcisse. Yeah.
Narcisse. Yeah.
Yeah. I've been actually wanted to go with Dylan. I think it was earlier this year, and it just work got in the way, and it just kind of
Yeah.
But it's somewhere I've been wanting to go. Just
See the snakes.
I saw them when it was a field trip in school. It's the last time I've been there. We got there by horse and buggy, so it took a while to get there. And
Yeah.
thank God cars have been invented since then. And yeah,
Thankfully.
Yeah.
Wow, you're doing well.
So you're an all-star musician in terms of
Wow.
local talent. No, you are. Let's get that right. But then you're also an all-star curling.
Well, okay, I'll set the record straight on that.
Okay.
The all-stars of this province are, the Carruthers, the McEwens,
yeah.
those boys.
Yeah.
There's no touching those guys.
Yeah, they're at a different level.
They're just at a different level.
Yeah, they're superstars. You're just an all-star.
Sure, we'll go with that.
But yeah, I'm going to get this wrong. But I think it was this summer you won the mixed seniors event for Manitoba. From Manitoba, won the national event.
Representing Manitoba.
Yeah,
Yeah, we won that. We won gold.
that's a big deal.
In Quebec City. That was fun.
Yeah,
It was great.
and then just recently you won.
We won a regional bonspiel here at the Granite to represent, not Manitoba. Now we get to go to provincials and hopefully have a chance to win that to represent Manitoba in the senior men's.
So the only senior men's in that event. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so curling, I'm assuming growing up in Dauphin, you're either picking up cow patties in the fields or curling or, I don't know, having pierogies. Like, is that how far back your curling goes? Is all the way back to childhood?
It does.
It does, eh?
Yeah. Got into the sport when I was young.
Okay.
So
Yeah. Yeah. And here you are decades later.
decades.
What's next for you in your curling life? Like, where do you see, because you're the skip, if I'm not mistaken. Like, where do you see you and your teams aspiring to in the next 5 years? Like, what's the goal?
We want to win the province for sure in
Okay.
the next couple of years, if not this year. I think
Yeah.
we've got the team to do it,
Okay.
and then represent Manitoba well. And I think anybody that comes out of this province has a real good chance to win
The national.
the nationals. Yeah.
So let's play that out for a second. You win provincials, then you go on to the nationals, and you win that. What happens from
So
there?
in the senior level, I believe there is an international, which component against the U.S.
Okay.
Don't quote me on this, but I think they just introduced this
Okay.
recently.
Wow. Hope you guys make it.
Yeah, thanks. Me
yeah,
too.
Yeah,
It'd be a blast.
pretty amazing.
Yeah.
So you find in between those two hobbies, or you do real estate and raise a family.
Yeah. And go to the odd show.
Yeah. When do you sleep?
Maybe the Jets game too.
Yeah. I'm coming to Winnipeg as a tourist, and we know each other, but I'd never been to Winnipeg before. Where would you take me? I'm here for a week. Where do we go? How do you promote life in Winnipeg to some outsider in for a few days?
It's a great question.
Mm-hmm.
I live pretty close to the Assiniboine Park Zoo,
Okay.
which is a fantastic spot. And they've
Yeah.
got the Leaf there now, and it's a really cool place to showcase. I mean, the indisputable, the Museum of Human Rights.
Yeah.
I've been in there a couple of times.
Okay.
Yeah, it's quite something.
I'm guilty. I've never attended.
You should go.
Yeah.
You want me to buy you a ticket?
No.
Okay.
But thank you.
Deer and almond for a great meal.
Well, thank you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Outside of the city,
Mm-hmm.
maybe up, there's Grand Beach. The kids love going to Grand Beach.
Yeah.
Grand Marais.
Yeah.
There's lots of things to do.
Yeah, there is.
Yeah.
I don't know if it still exists, but Grand Beach, once upon a time, was ranked as one of the top 5
Yeah.
best beaches in North America.
Yeah. It's probably still ranked pretty high.
Yeah.
Can't see it decreasing.
Yeah. Amazing natural resource that we have in our province. Actually takes me to a story. God rest his soul. The previous CEO of the real estate board was hired from Toronto. And one of the fears of hiring him was, you're coming from Toronto, the center of the universe, to the armpit of Canada, as Torontonians like to call us,
Yep.
moving to Winnipeg. And I was lucky, I guess, to have been on the task force to hire him. And so I know the reservations there were. He was the best candidate, but how long do you have him if you hire him? And which is Jeff McCullough. And so 6 months into his job, him and I took him out for lunch, and I posed the question, "Hey Jeff, how long do we have you for?" And he said, "Are you kidding me? Everything I heard about Winnipeg before I got here, it was going to be a stepping stone for my career. This is a great city to live in." At the time, we didn't have the Jets. And he said, minus a hockey team, you have everything and then some compared to Toronto, with attitude and affordability and lifestyle. And he took the time. And this is why I'm telling the stories. He said, an hour away from Grand Beach. I didn't know things like that existed. And so he ended up retiring as the top guy for our board. And his bulk of his family was out east, and him and his wife stayed in Winnipeg. That's how much they fell in love with our city. So,
Wow.
You're right. We've got some amazing.
Wow. And the hospitality. Don't forget about that. How many great restaurants are there in this city?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I just have a couple of more questions, and then I'm done. I don't even know how much time we spent here. It's
We're at like 46 minutes.
Holy cow.
Wow. They're usually about half an hour, so
Jeez.
you just don't know how to shut up, do you?
God, sorry.
That's all right.
People are probably already tuned out.
I know I would. So, Winnipeg.
Yeah.
Why is it your home?
You know what? It's because of the relationships I built here.
Okay.
Coming to school here, I
Yeah.
think at 18, leaving Dauphin right when I was 18.
Yeah.
And coming to Winnipeg and meeting some lifelong friends, and it just it's home.
Yeah.
Now I did venture out east for a couple of years,
Okay.
thinking that I would not come back here, but after being out there,
Yeah.
I couldn't wait to come back here.
Really? Can I ask what city?
Toronto.
Okay. There we go.
There
Just
you go.
talking about it. Yeah.
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 So it is a dog-eat-dog world in Toronto,
Yeah.
I found, especially in the industry I was getting into. But people aren't the same as they are here.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
I want to thank you for coming onto this show today. I know I felt like you had some reservations because you asked for questions in advance, which I refused to give to you. And I promised you I would not embarrass you. I hope I lived up to that.
Oh, it's all good.
Okay. Glad to hear. But I want to also thank you for what you do at the office every day, because I know how much you care. I get to see that side of you that maybe a lot of people don't, that you work with, and the genuineness of wanting to help our people be successful, or to just hold their hand through whatever circumstance that they're in, is just, it pulls my heart to see what you do. And
Wow.
that's a rare quality in our line of work. And there's, and that's, you represent our culture that is one of caring and honesty and integrity. And I know you're going to be doing that for hopefully many years ahead of you.
Mm-hmm.
And so I just want to say thank you for that, because as you probably have learned very quickly, being a broker is a lonely career. And there's not too many accolades. In fact, it's the other way around. It's usually more criticisms than thank yous. So from me to you,
Wow.
Thank you. And
Wow.
thank you for being on this episode.
I'm feeling verklempt right now. That's
I don't
very
know how
nice
to spell
words.
that. What does that mean, verklempt?
Verklempt.
My grade 3 education is showing through.
Have you watched Saturday Night Live with Mike Myers back in the,
Yes.
when he played?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Anyways, very grateful to be here and to be part of this company and to know you. It's been a treat.
Well, Rolf Hitzer behind the for sale sign. Don't have sign, will still travel, but also Paul Scinocca from Royal LePage Top Producers. If you need a genuine, honest person to handle your real estate needs, or your new career in real estate, or your experienced career in real estate, Paul Scinocca. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Rolf.